Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to HJN yet again with the legacy of supers. Because now what I'm going to talk about today is yet another underrated hero out there. And I say underrated in a bit of a modest tone here because, simply put, this is one of those that pretty much faded into obscurity somehow. Because even though this film is still around on Netflix, it's safe to say that this one right here hasn't gotten a lot of attention. Called Hancock. Yeah. Kind of like John Hancock or Herbie Hancock or something in general. But regardless of where the name pretty much originated, the hero Hancock pretty much started out in the film, that is, back in 2008, as someone who did not have much time to spend on a lot of things in life. Drinking, sleeping, acting like a bum, and pretty much just doing random heroic acts that aren't so looked upon by the general public as something that's worth being proud of. In the film, it's one of those things where the main protagonist has to go through a pathway to redemption. I can see where they're going through with it, and they're pretty much elaborating it as they go, just so we could probably keep the excitement up. So, I guess it's pretty good that they did not end up quitting their day job on trying to give us a good plot out there, because to be honest, the film had some pretty good actors in there, like Jason Bateman and Will Smith. Yes, Will Smith. The same person who was in the Bad Boys series, the same person who we saw in the 1990 film Wild Wild West, and of course, the new 2019 reboot of Aladdin, where Will Smith plays the genie, as well as the mariner in the opening scene. But I will say for sure that, looking back at that 2008 film that Will Smith was part of, it's a good chance that I feel like it could have gotten some better attention at the time, but not every film is worth looking at in the box office. I could probably tell you that the reason why Hancock was so underrated and underlooked was because of how successful the first MCU Iron Man film came out. And I could tell you that there was a lot of other 2008 films around at the time. So it probably does make sense that Hancock did not get as much attention back then because of how much marketing that the other films were in. Many of them, that is. But you know what, though? I guess there really isn't so much that I could talk about other than the fact that, well, in the end of the film, Hancock is fully redeemed and now does good no matter what. So, personally, for me, if I had to give that film a rating, I probably would give it a 6.3 or something like that. It's a good film for what it is, pretty much. It's a superhero film. It's not a great film. It's much like many others that we've had back in the day that kind of flopped and faded into obscurity. Hancock is one of those specimens that probably doesn't deserve the negligence and the lack of attention and all that. It's probably worth watching at least once. It has some good music and, again, has a pretty good cast with some pretty familiar faces. And we do get to see a lot of them today. Well, anyways, that's pretty much it here. But if you want to see more, go down on my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.